Welcome, Marktype is my name and this is an in-depth study. By the end of this video, you will be Albert Einstein of Excel text functions. Let's begin with the text extraction and manipulation functions. The first one, of course, being text function. Suppose you have date and time there and you want to extract the short form and the full length of the month. How do you go about that? Go there and we are using the text function. This is the first value. Open with double quotes. If you want the short form of the month, use M. Close. That is it. Autofill for the rest. Nice. Now for the full length, you want to repeat the same, but this time round use 4 M's. Can either use uppercase or lowercase. Doesn't matter, it will work. Autofill and you get it. Alright, let's go to the next one. Left function. Suppose you have employee ID and you want to extract just the department initial there. You can see it is at the left side here, so we are using the left function. Left, give the first text there. The number of characters is 1, 2, 3. And that is it. Autofill. Very nice. Let's go to the next one, which is right function. The same data, employee ID, and we want now to pick this employee code as this example shows. So we are using right function. Give it the text. How many characters are those? 5 of them. Click here to autofill for the rest. Nice, we are on a roll. The next function is mid function. Suppose we have employee ID, employee name, but really we just want to pick the middle values there, and mid function will do it. This is just an example there. So let's use the mid function. This is the text and it is asking for the start number. We want to start from which character? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are going to begin from 4. How many characters? Let's take 3 and see what happens. Very nice. If you want to take 4 characters, you just change and you have it. You can autofill for the rest. Now let's proceed to len. And this one just gives the number of characters. So let's type len. It returns the number of characters in a text string. Let's give it, and so the first one has 11 characters, just like that. Those functions may not have made sense to you thus far. Let's use this real example for you to appreciate that. I'll introduce another function which you have not seen thus far, and that is fine. Suppose we have city addresses here. New York, comma, NY, comma, all these characters. Now we want to just get the city initials, NYCAIL. To help us do that, we want to find the positions of these delimiters, these commas, and then get the middle value there. So these commas are going to be helpful to us. We are using find function. It returns the starting position of one string within another string. Find is case sensitive, okay? So we want to find which text? We want to find the first comma and within which text? Within this one. Close, and it is in position 9. But really, N is not in position 9. It is 2 more characters away from position 9. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. You are also counting space. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So N is at position 11. How do we do that? Let's add 2 in order to get that. Now let's go to the second position. we want to find the position of the second comma. Let's use find function again. And we want to find that comma within the same text. This time round, we are starting from this position 11. Close. And it is in position 13. That makes sense. We can find the city initial, which is now at the middle of these two positions. We are going to use the mid function. It returns the characters from the middle of a text string given a starting position and length. This is the text. The starting number, we want to start from 11, from n. And how many characters? In this case, it is 2. Okay. And just like that, we have that ny. But I want to warn you, it is dangerous to work with hard-coded values like these ones too, because your formulas, when you are using or moving it from one place to another, copying it elsewhere, it will bring problems because it will not adjust the way you want it. In that case, we want to replace these two with something else. But what is this 2 actually? It is the length of these two characters, this comma and the space between that comma and n. And in that case, we are going to utilize len function. Len. It returns the number of characters in a text string. The number of characters, okay? So the text itself is comma and space. Okay, close the bracket. And we still have it. Again, for the number of characters. Sometimes you may not have 2 characters there. You may have 3 or 4. So instead of writing these 2 directly, this 2 is actually the second position minus the first position. That is the criteria we used to get that 2. So it will be this minus this one. And there you have it. We can select that and autofill for the rest. So that one took a little bit of time, but I hope you've understood. Let's now go to the trim function. Now suppose you have exported some data which is very messy, like the spaces in between, there is no order, and you want to clean that. So we are going to use the trim function for that. Give it the text and it will do it for us. Now let's go to case conversion functions. Now here we are talking about capital letters and small letters. So given these names and you want, let me delete these ones, and you want all of them uppercase, so you are going to use upper function and it will do it. The same with lower function, and the proper will now begin with an uppercase every other word. Proper. Let's read the description. It converts a text string to proper case, the first letter in each word to uppercase. Okay, give it the text, and there you have it. And let's select, and we have it for the rest. Now let's move on to text joining and concatenation functions. Suppose you have first names and last names and you want to concatenate them. To concatenate is basically to join together. There are about 4 options. The first one being concatenate function. Concatenate. Give it the first text, the second text, like that, and there you have it. Realize that there is no space between John and Carter, and to do that, go between those 2 texts and introduce the space using double quotes, space, double quotes, comma, and there you have it. You can also use the concat function, and this one came as a replacement to concatenate function. Give it the first text and the second text. Just like concatenate, there is no space between those two texts. Repeat the same thing, double quotes, space, double quotes, comma, and there you have it. You can also use ampersand operator to concatenate text. Give the first text and then ampersand operator the second text, like that. And just like before, there's no space between there, and to do that this time round, we will put the space between two ampersand operators, like that, and you have it. But the best of them all is text join, which allows us to give the delimiter in the formula itself. Delimiter is that space that will separate the texts. If there are empty cells there, you can type true to ignore them, and now give the text the first one, the second one in this case, and there you have it. Now select them and fill for the rest like that. Now let's proceed to text replacement and substitution functions. Suppose we have outdated employee IDs here, and now we want to use the new or updated ones. We can use replace function and also substitute functions. They do the same thing, but they have a difference in how we write the formula. So allow me to delete these ones. Let's begin with replace function, and it replaces part of a text string with a different text string. If you are unsure of what these parameters mean, you can always come to this formula bar at this fx insert function. Click there. You will be able to get the description. For the old text, is text in which you want to replace some characters. The start number, click there. It is the position of the character in old text that you want to replace with new text. The number of characters is the number of characters in old text that you want to replace, and the new text, of course, is the one you want to replace the old one with. Let's go back to this one. Replace, and the old text is this one. The start num is, we want to replace from E to P, so the start num, the first character, which is 1, and then the number of characters will be 3, that is E, M, and P. The new text which I want to replace that with is staff and dash sign. So let's see what will happen. Very nice. Let's use the substitute one. Substitute function. And this one replaces existing text with new text in a text string. So they almost do the same thing. Now the text that we want to replace, of course, is this one. The first one for the text is the entire text, and now for the old text is that specific part you want to replace. And this one allows us to write it by ourselves, and we want to replace that with staff, and click enter, and we have it. So we are able to achieve the same thing. Let's select and copy for the rest. So by now you have learned a lot in this video, and because it has been valuable unto you, just do me a favor of liking this video. If you're not yet part of the family, subscribe to MarkType YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video.